Good afternoon to everybody. Today's session will be held by Mr. Bharatesh Chakravarthi. Mr. Bharatesh Chakravarthi is currently working as a research scholar at Virtual Environments Lab, Chung-Ang University, Seoul, South Korea. He is working on a research project, Proxemics-based pervasive interactions for the wide area and high-speed serial motion recognition, supported by Institute of Information and Communication Technology Planning and Evaluation grant funded by the Republic of Korea government. He was previously working as an academician at engineering institutes with 5 years of teaching experience. He has conducted various hands-on workshops and has delivered technical talks. He also has made contributions to open source projects such as Visualization Toolkit, supported by Kitware Technologies, and has research publications at various conferences and journals. We welcome you, sir. Over to you, Mr. Bharatesh Chakravarthi, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yeah, thank you. Very good afternoon to all of you, and thank you for joining me for this session. So I would like to express my thanks to Dr. Sashikala ma'am and the organizing committee of Information Science and Engineering Department and the management of BMIT for giving this opportunity to present and share information with you all for the next 1.5 hours. I also convey my special thanks to Professor Lloyd from BMSE for getting me this opportunity. So to start with, all of us have insights to Internet of Things and all of its practical aspects. We have found a lot of solutions to our daily life problems and the needs. So on the other hand, we also have understanding about this upcoming technology, emerging technology, blockchain technology, and we are well aware of its impacts in the near future. How is it going to change things in future? So I would like to connect and join all the dots across blockchain and Internet of Things in this online faculty development program with the theme Blockchain of Things. So I have this title Blockchain of Things in similar lines with Internet of Things. So going ahead, diving straight away into what is this blockchain of things, what is blockchain technology is. We all know how our business changed the way the world works. Today, we are in the most transformative era of business that is happening right now. We know a lot of innovators, entrepreneurs, and forward-thinking enterprises. All of them are embracing this blockchain technology to bring solutions to a lot of things which we are facing today. There is a lot of trust issues. There is a lot of transparency issues with the way we are dealing with things right now. So blockchain technology, as a technology, it can reach down to a lot of sectors, be it from supply chain, be it global trade, international payments, and even going to a greater extent, we can assume of in a wide range, in a wide perspective, that it can even cover world's food supply, the entire world food supply, and much more. So we know business definitely runs on information, and the faster the information is received and the more accurate it is, definitely we are going to have very good business solutions, and we will have a better financial aspects for every business. So for all such aspects, from a business perspective, from a research perspective, from a technological solution perspective, blockchain would definitely be an ideal solution for all of this. So to cater all such information to a business, wherein the information that is revolving around the business will definitely be shared and a completely transparent information which needs to be stored on something called immutable ledger, which can only be accessed by permitted network members. We can see in this diagram wherein we have a transaction component, a peer-to-peer network component, and there is something called blocks in the blockchain, validation factor, verification. So all these are the associated things with this blockchain technology. So what exactly is this blockchain? To define in straightforward way, it is definitely a tamper evident shared digital ledger, we can call it as. So it is nothing but a database, a new form of database which is shared across the users who are in the network, and more importantly, it is tampered free. So there are a lot of evidences also to prove its feature of tamper evident, and also where is this blockchain technology plays around is it is basically on a peer-to-peer network. And if we can ask what kind of peer-to-peer network, can it be a public peer-to-peer network or a private peer-to-peer network? We can use on both. So blockchain acts as a single source of truth, I can say, and definitely members in blockchain network will be able to view the transactions that are only relevant to them. They will not have access which are irrelevant to them, and that's how it is composed of. So a blockchain is typically a distributed ledger which can also be shared across a business network. So apart from this public space, even it can be extended to a business network where all the business transactions are permanently recorded in sequence and appended only. And that's why we call it as tamper evident blocks to the ledger, since it serves such security factors. So all the confirmed and validated transactions stored on the blocks will definitely be hash linked, something called hash link, from the Genesis block, the block that generates the successive transactions stored inside the blocks. And right from the Genesis block to the most current block, it can be hash linked. So that's why all of them we call it as a blockchain. So going ahead, if I ask, there are a lot of things. If I say that there are a lot of things to change, if specifically asked to somebody, what are the things that you need to change around you, then we will start listing out things. We have a lot of things to change. We want things to get better. So there are, when operations are performed in such changes to be made, I would like to quote an example where operations that are often wasted in removing the duplication while keeping a record are probably validating the third parties which are involved in such ecosystem. So with record keeping systems being vulnerable to fraud and cyber attacks, and with limited transparency, we need to overcome this problem, because we have this IoT emerging out. It is already making a lot of impact in our daily life. With IoT around us, with high volumes of data that is getting generated from IoT, we definitely need a way to handle all of this in a much better way, because with such high volumes of data getting exploded from IoT, this basically slows down or drains down the business processes. So once this business processes is deteriorated, then comes the problem. So to handle this, the better way to have is this blockchain, wherein we can see that blockchain has a set of key elements, distributed ledger technology, where we all know what could be this distributed ledger technology, and we all keep saying that the records which are over the blockchain is immutable, and the revolutionary factor is all about this smart contracts. Also, there are specific set of benefits from blockchain. I would generalize it to factors. One is the trust, and the other one is security. today we are evidencing a lot of technologies emerging out with its own advantages, but still somewhere most of the things which boils down is with respect to this trust and security. Any technology comes out, we will always have our own doubts when it comes to trust and security. So definitely blockchain is going to contribute in a greater way when it comes to trust and security. Also, there is a set of things uh, that there are a set of things how blockchain works. We know each transaction that happens over the network is recorded as a block, and each blocks are connected to each other, and these blocks will definitely be irreversible in nature, which results as a blockchain. So with all this key elements of blockchain, very key benefits of blockchain, probably it is time for us to go ahead and look in how things happens with respect to blockchain, and what are the other aspects which are associated with a blockchain. Generally, we have a notion, we have an understanding about blockchain, wherein a majority of us will draw into a understanding that blockchain is it blockchain about the bitcoins or any other form of cryptocurrencies. So that's why I would like to have this distinction between what blockchain is exactly about and what is not just about. So blockchain is about the trust, proof, and determinism, I would say. So when it comes to trust, proof, and determinism, blockchain will play a vital role in bringing in the trust in data. The data or the network should be trusted. That's very important. And then it allows you to prove the data is correct. Blockchain definitely has a lot of ways to prove the correctness of the data, so which we call it as proof. And determinism means that what happens is the only way it could have happened, and there is no doubt about the data in the blockchain. So that there should not be any single point on which the data, when it comes to trust the data over the network. And a lot of people get confused blockchain with just Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is just an example of blockchain. And blockchain is not just about any cryptocurrencies, be it Ethereum, Litecoin, be it Ripple, something like Tether, Libra, and so on. So basically, this blockchain will be treated as an underlying technology to make several different applications possible. So we have this understanding. So with this understanding going ahead, what are the major application areas blockchain is lighting out? So today, it is not just a blockchain. They call it as the business blockchain because people say blockchain is a promise, it's a practice, and it is going to be the application of next internet technology. So probably in another 10 years, every application that we use directly, indirectly, will have an underlying technology, which is nothing but this blockchain. So we have several application areas, be it vaccine distribution. This is very apt to the current situation because we are all in the COVID pandemic. We all know in India, vaccine distribution is started, and we will definitely be amused how this blockchain can play a vital role in application areas like vaccine distribution. Likewise, we have public health, supply chain, financial services, trading, probably jumping into this food industry, supply management. All of these are the major application areas which can be powered up with the underlying technology with blockchain. I would say a vaccine distribution network can build trust right from when a new vaccination is right from its inception to injection. So you can track down everything when a vaccination emerges out. And in public health sector, we all know there are a lot of issues to tackle with respect to trust. Transparency and data integrity is also one of the major concerns in public health. And when it comes to supply chain, blockchain ecosystem will definitely enable us to share data with supply chain partners, wherein we can have transactions which are much more efficient. and definitely it builds on some greater amount of trust. We have food industry where we need to enhance the visibility and accountability in every step of the food supply. We are not sure about the background process that happens in food industry. So to achieve a greater extent of transparency in food industry, and also a faster way to qualify, onboard and manage the suppliers in supply chain management. And I would like to quote an example wherein this IBM have come up with a initiative called IBM Food Trust. Basically, this IBM Food Trust will help the growers and the distributors as well as the retailers basically build trust and make the food safer. So how do they do it is they just enhance the visibility and accountability. So this is just one example wherein a live example called IBM Food Trust, which is playing a greater role. And also there is another example which says trade lens. There is something called trade lens. Trade lens gives access to one truth across supply chain, and with an open and neutral platform, updated and validated in real time by each participant in the network, which is something with respect to this global trade. And when it comes to financial aspects and the financial services, letter of guarantee solutions can speed the processing by eliminating excessive paperwork. We have a lot of paperwork involved with these two application areas, wherein financial services and trading. So all such can be eliminated by making use of these immutable and auditable ledgers, which gives us a greater confidence. So let's go ahead and see on the other hand. So this is at one hand. So far, I was able to give a brief about what exactly is this blockchain technology. Key elements, benefits, we are very clear from a trust and security perspective, and what blockchain is all about and what is not just about. So with this understanding and application, we will have a broader idea about what are the application areas where this blockchain technology can reach down. On the other hand, we have a very vital technology which is giving a lot of solutions to our problems, is this Internet of Things. So Internet of Things connects people, places, and products, and so on. It offers greater opportunity for value creations and capturing all such opportunities. So in Internet of Things, each thing is composed of a sophisticated chips. It will have actuators which can be embedded into physical items, and each device or the Internet of Things will have the ability to transmit data to the network. Not just with this, Internet of Things will also have this analytical capability, wherein we can use this data, the data that gets generated over the Internet of Things can be used to draw insights into actions and thus impacting the business process. When this technology emerged out, people were amused to connect things and try out generating data from these devices, use this data for different purpose. But nowadays, when it has come to public domain and the business domain, it is making a major impact in business process, because you can draw conclusions, you can make decisions with the data that is getting emerged out from this Internet of Things. However, there is still a number of technical and security concerns that remain unaddressed, even though it has been explored to a greater extent. There are a lot of issues and security concerns which needs to be solved, wherein although this IoT architecture protocols and middlewares enables different types of devices to connect and communicate. Basically, when we say different devices can be connected and communicate, there comes the problem with its heterogeneity and scalability. These two becomes a great problem in Internet of Things. For example, say there is a resource constrained device that cannot afford the overhead of registration process, communication, the authentication protocols. All of this creates a greater over it. So to interoperate with all these devices, resource-rich devices need to downgrade their protocols sometimes to a lightweight version, so that all devices can communicate and operate in a new and uniform manner. So looking for some well-established applications in various domains, there are a lot of domains, application domains. We can see be it from autonomous routes, enabled autonomous buses, be it connected appliances, wherein you connect all things over a place, and we have voice assistants, remote surveillance through handheld devices. You can monitor a remote place. You can stream in the video to your handheld devices. And we have gone to a greater extent also, wherein bringing solutions to this field, agriculture, is more fascinating. We have programmed irrigation in farming lands, and also we have come up with driverless crop harvesting devices. Most of the developed nations used driverless crop harvesting device in a much more efficient way. And also be it smart tracking. Smart tracking can be, you can track the energy generation, energy, this power consumption, power transmission, be it billing, all those. And so likewise, we have a variety of application areas wherein this IoT is playing a major role, be it health, waste management, retail industry, and whatnot. So every devices are well connected to each other, and that's why it is also increasing the productivity in greater sense. So we have this Internet of Things at one end, and we have this blockchain at the other end. And there is a survey made from IoT Analytics. This IoT Analytics continues to track in which verticals most IoT projects are happening. So in 2020, they have listed a set of verticals wherein progressive advancements that has taken place. This is one quick fact about top 10 IoT application areas in 2020. So there were more than 1,400 public enterprise IoT projects identified. We can see it includes manufacturing or industrial, transportation or mobility, likewise energy, retail, cities, healthcare, supply chain, agriculture, building, and other. Each of them holds their own percentage of advancements, wherein manufacturing and industrial settings are most common, which be with 22%, followed by transportation and mobility with 15%, and energy IoT projects with 14%. These three domains have gained a greater momentum, offering wide range of solutions, because corporates are dealing making business in these domains: manufacturing, transportation, and energy. And in near future, I could sense that these fields like agriculture, healthcare, supply chain will also gain the greater moments like this, and will offer much more solutions in public space applications. So these are the application areas wherein there can be a greater impact with this blockchain. I would say now in academics, from a research perspective, since corporate is investing a lot of money for research and coming up with solutions in manufacturing, transportation, and energy, probably we the academicians can work around the sectors like healthcare, supply chain, agriculture. We can take small projects which has IoT and blockchain, and bringing in solutions as academic projects even. So going ahead, now we need to understand we have blockchain at one hand, we have Internet of Things on the other end. So blockchain applications in IoT can be called as blockchain of things. That's why I have this title, blockchain of things, wherein we could now try to look into how things change and power up IoT by integrating this blockchain. So to have an understanding about this, it is better to have a taxonomy, something like this, and a summary, wherein we can see this blockchain in the innermost ring surrounded by several aspects, wherein we all know that generally blockchain systems are categorized based on their consensus algorithm or network access, because this consensus algorithms determines the network access and the underlying mechanism of the blockchain. So the consensus algorithms can be broadly classified into 4 types. We can see in the second ring around this, the first ring blockchain, which could be this power of work, then power of service, and this fault tolerant algorithms, Byzantine fault tolerant algorithms. And there are other cases. It can there are different other scenarios which can also be considered. So these are the different factors that is immediately surrounded by this blockchain. And the third ring we can see describes the type of the network blockchain system involves. Basically, it can be a permission network or a permissionless network. For example, we can see multi-chain. Multi-chain is then proof of work based permission blockchain. We can see these are the examples for cryptocurrencies, wherein this Bitcoin is a proof of work based again, but it is permissionless. And there is Hyperledger, which is permissioned again. So the last ring, which is the outermost ring, where it consists of majority of the application areas where this blockchain is playing a vital role. Digital currency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all those, wherein agriculture, farm monitoring, harvest prediction, irrigation management, like we can see all the application areas in different domains. But the coincidence is that majority of the application areas where the Internet of Things have reached, we can see all those application areas also have greater impact with this blockchain, which means to say that there is some relation where this blockchain and this Internet of Things can be brought together to make it much more powerful. So there is a need to integrate this blockchain and Internet of Things. So this is how this blockchain integration with Internet of Things looks in. As the Internet of Things is continuing to grow at a rapid rate, its sensors and devices are becoming more commonplace to communicate information about status of things. Things are nothing but the devices. So we have the 3 entities when culminating this blockchain with Internet of Things. We have this Internet of Things platform. We have this blockchain. On the other end, we have this business network, wherein this IoT platform can connect devices across and bring them into the network. It generates a lot of data which needs to be managed and analyzed at one domain. We know that there is a greater impact with this smart contracts in blockchain and transaction blocks and shared ledgers. So not just with this, wherein it can further extend in business decision making process, wherein blockchain's distributed replication will definitely allow all our business partners to verify each transaction that happens over the network, so that there is no longer a need for the central control management system. What we have, a central control management system, can be completely eliminated. So the blockchain records what each participant does, and everyone is accountable in this overall transaction. So that's how we can culminate with this, have culmination for this Internet of Things and blockchain. So there was nothing called smart contracts with IoT, and bringing in these smart contracts with IoT will definitely result in greater things. We will see in what such ways it can bring the impact. So the culmination is done. We know now that this IoT and blockchain can be integrated together, which helps in business decision making process, and how exactly it can benefit or bring a greater impact is with the trust, security, flexibility, and efficiency. These are the four different benefits, straightaway benefits we can have, where each transaction is recorded and put into a data block and added with security where it is immutable, so which cannot be changed. So that brings the trustworthiness, and there are a lot of security concerns in IoT, and this could be definitely solved bringing in this blockchain together. We need to rely on much more added security with blockchain integration IoT platform. We can select the data to be managed. It can be analyzed. We can even customize and share among only the permission clients. And when it comes to greater flexibility, a blockchain platform is a open and interoperable platform, which is built on multi-cloud world also. So using the latest any of the latest version of the leading Hyperledger Fabric platform, we can bring in this flexibility, and also this efficiency, because it is not just the blockchain, it is the business blockchain, as I said. So blockchain streamlines all the business processes and creates business values across the ecosystem, because the data supplied by the IoT devices and sensors will be used for efficient business decision making process. So going ahead, if we can combine this Internet of Things and blockchain, which will enable us to have trustworthiness, security, greater flexibility, and efficiency, what are the challenges specifically this blockchain can address with respect to IoT? We can see there are specific challenges in IoT platform. One is this system design is an area wherein we have to look in for, and something called data management. There is an enormous amount of data that is getting generated from IoT, and we have device management, because when each and everything gets connected across, we need to manage all such devices, and we have to tackle the scalability issues. Also, we have service management. When the scalability, when we improve this scalability, and we also have to look into this service management, there are a lot of concerns. And also security. Definitely, security is one of the major concerns in IoT. So these are the major areas where this blockchain can be brought in as solution. So specifically, I said system design, wherein we all know that this Internet of Things is hierarchically centralized in architecture based. So this is completely contrasting with blockchain, wherein this blockchain is a decentralized environment where you can blockchain can help to build a decentralized IoT system, which is definitely contrasting to this centralized architecture. So definitely blockchain can enable us to have a peer-to-peer communication scheme, which is definitely a very much ideal for IoT. Also, using this blockchain brings a lot of efficiency, reliability, and also robustness, because since it inherently provides all such security mechanisms, so it can definitely be eliminated with this blockchain. So this system design concerns in IoT can be eliminated with blockchain. Similarly, there are a lot of data that is getting emerged out, and we need a much more efficient way to manage the data that gets generated from IoT. So a blockchain system can be used to provide auditable data storage for an IoT environment, wherein we also can go ahead and add an additional layer in blockchain, which could be cloud storage to provide this data integrity guarantees, all those. So this also is covered up with blockchain. And as I said, scalability, increased scalability will lead to various factors with device management, wherein we know that a lot of as in lot of aspects we can solve this with a blockchain. And then comes this service management, wherein there are a lot of inefficiency in service discovery, indirect device usage, and whenever a service is provided, we still face this problem of flexibility in payment methods. So this can also be overcome with micro transactions, something called since blockchain supports this micro transactions among IoT devices, that can be brought into this picture, where it allows it will definitely allow reliable direct access to IoT resources, where the security and efficiency can be balanced together. And one major concern with IoT, where a lot of research that has happened in the recent past, is this counterfeit problem. A lot of things gets faked up over the network, and communication security, data privacy concerns. So a blockchain system can provide reliable provenance tracking for these IoT devices to solve this, or probably overcoming this, imitating the fraud, or maybe faking up the things. And also we have a redefined access management, data assurance, and data privacy, which are introduced by blockchain to IoT solutions. So these are some of the challenges that we can address with blockchain. So with all this, I could say it is one good area where we can integrate this blockchain with Internet of Things to bring a greater advantage, as I've discussed so far. So going ahead, we need to also know, say suppose from a research perspective, now it is one of the trending research domain, where a lot of people involve themselves in identifying problems where they can bring solutions. So now I have discussed about integrating this IoT and blockchain. Now for any researcher to pick and choose a domain where they can work, there are a lot of IoT applications where this blockchain can be brought in. So we can have 5 use cases, wherein trade lane or the supply chain, warranty when it comes to tracking each and every small component of a complete system, decentralized edge computing, interconnecting devices, and regulatory compliances. So one can choose a domain from any of these sectors and start exploring how this blockchain can be bringing the solutions, wherein this trade lane or supply chain, we can see that every object can be tracked in supply chain. There comes the role of smart contracts. So if somebody wants to have a research on this trade lane and supply chain integrated with blockchain, they can explore on this smart contracts to enforce strict regulations. This is one aspect. And the next one is this maintaining the permanent history of each and every individual parts or segments in a system for maintenance related issues. This can be done, and securely running the analytics on its devices owned by third parties can also be one aspect, using micropayments of blockchain, as I said previously. And this blockchain enables micropayments across distributed devices to pay and receive for services provided, and indelible records for regulatory agencies. So these are some broader use cases where one can jump in and start looking into things and bring some solutions through blockchain. So with this wide or vague use cases, I would like to summarize. There are 3 different application areas, like freight, transportations, component tracking, and compliance. and log operational maintenance data. These are the three different application areas we can look in for. For freight transportation, implementation of blockchain is expected to focus on using this technology to reduce or remove third-party costs. There is a lot of third-party cost involved in freight transportation. So to remove that and to have a better protected connected vehicles and to increase the transparency, this blockchain plays a role wherein basically an IoT device is capable of storing or generating data, be it temperatures, position, arrival times, or probably status of shipping containers. All of these data can be stored as transactions over the blockchain, and these immutable blockchain transactions helps us to ensure all parties can trust the data. People who are associated with this ecosystem can definitely trust this data with a blockchain. And then there is another important application area with this component tracking and compliance. Products are designed by teams in one or more locations. Sometimes even they are manufactured at different locations. Sometimes they're stored elsewhere and sold also elsewhere. So goods and components which pass through various countries, warehouses, they have to face different weather conditions. And also it depends on how people handle this components, and also there are storage situations before final products reach the end consumers. So this is one major area wherein the ability to track the components that goes into an aircraft, automobile, or other products, which is very critical for both safety and regulatory compliances. So these factors wherein this IoT data stored in a shared blockchain ledgers definitely enables parties to see component provenance throughout a product's life. You can access it anytime. So likewise, it brings up its own essence, wherein sharing this information with regulatory agencies, shippers, and manufacturers is secure, easy, and cost effective. These are the things that blockchain brings in. And the last one is this log operational maintenance data, wherein third-party repair partners sometimes wants to monitor things, and they can use blockchain, wherein a lot of preventive maintenance and recording the work back into the blockchain can be done. Operational records can also be shared with government entities to verify the compliances. So all these log operations can be migrated and handled better with this blockchain. So these are the three different application areas we can pick and choose and start working on. Now, moving ahead, I want to discuss. Now, I believe so far we have got to know how advantageous it is to combine blockchain with IoT. What are the challenges, IoT challenges that can be solved using blockchain? Also, we have seen what are the different use cases wherein this IoT and blockchain can be integrated together and their applications. Now, to make you all know how this corporates have are coming up with solutions that exist with IoT. I would like to take up an example of this IBM Watson IoT platform on blockchain. So this is one solution we have, wherein IBM Watson IoT platform on blockchain is an add-on component of an Watson IoT platform, which will basically enable IoT resources to participate in blockchain business networks. So by using a Watson IoT platform on blockchain, Internet of Things can Internet of IoT devices can send data. They can invoke smart contract transaction on IBM platform. So this is one just overview of how does this IBM Watson platform on blockchain work, wherein we can see that there are very major important components associated. We see that the very foremost important component is this Watson IoT platform service, wherein there are a lot of IoT devices and the services offered are associated. We can have our own IoT device that can be registered with this IoT platform, and IoT device message broker, which is a platform service used to complete device registration. We can manage IoT device data, and also we can create rules for writing data into the blockchain. This is one important component. And then comes this Watson IoT platform on blockchain add-on. As I said, it is basically an add-on to the IoT platform, Watson IoT platform. So IBM Cloud Services will enable all these IoT devices and applications to participate in Hyperledger Fabric network activities. So that is one component. And on the other end, this is with respect to the Watson IoT platform environment. The external environment is this, wherein we have an Hyperledger Composer, IBM blockchain platform, wherein an extensive and open blockchain development tool sets and frameworks are provided this Hyperledger, which can be used to edit and deploy smart contracts. So that is one key aspect. And also we have an application that consumes IoT data, any application that consumes the IoT data, and it can be conveyed back to this Watson IoT platform on blockchain by calling the REST API. So that's how things can be integrated. We can see there is one different external component, which is this Hyperledger Composer Playground. The other important aspect is this Watson IoT platform services. So this is one just generic framework we can take as an example from IBM. Now I would like to play a video wherein this IBM Cloud for SAP applications have come up with a solution that brings a lot of change in the supply chain. This is one interesting video which explains how supply chain domain can have a major impact with this integration of IoT and blockchain. We will have a look at this video now.
Excuse me, sir. The audio is not working, sir, for the video. What you are playing.
Okay. Oh, let me reconnect.
Yeah, sir. Sure. Thank you.
Is it audible now?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Did you know that product loss in the food and pharmaceutical industries alone costs more than $1 trillion a year? Imagine being able to drastically reduce that amount by having the ability to not only monitor the temperature of every package sent, but also share that information with all partners in the supply chain. With this unique solution managed on IBM Cloud, we can do just that. Let's see how it works. Using remote IoT sensor technology and documented by blockchain, placing an order in SAP triggers temperature and location monitoring of shipments. In this simulation, we track the shipment of an IoT-enabled package that passes through multiple carriers. Blockchain has a smart contract that automatically triggers the return of the package if its temperature exceeds 45 degrees Fahrenheit. According to the simulator, the current temperature is about 40 degrees. Later, we'll see what happens when the temperature changes to 50 degrees. Our first step is to access the SAP application where we have an existing sales order of a cold chain package. Clicking Deliver from the menu tab triggers the business contract in the UI. Now we load the container onto the plane. We can see the information is being sent to Watson IoT, and the plane's temperature is displayed in green. Let's start the shipment. The blocks in the blockchain are being created here. And since the package is below the 45-degree threshold, we can see a note that the package is compliant. Now, let's transfer the container from the plane to a truck. And now we see that the temperature went up to 50 degrees in transit, which causes an error message to pop up. And the block has been written to the blockchain saying the package is no longer compliant. The application automatically triggered the business rule for temperature. And when we click Shipment Complete, we see the message that the package has to be returned to the manufacturer. Temperature, humidity, light, or vibrations. We can track these variables for food, medicine, and much more. The opportunities to tie SAP, blockchain, and an IoT platform together and manage it all on the IBM Cloud are endless.
Yeah, by looking into this fascinating example, we can just relate this by asking a student probably to imagine importing an apple grown in European region back into Bangalore. What are the aspects that are associated in importing an apple from there to here? So there are a lot of things we can connect things which brings us such things to doorsteps, and also just having Internet of Things to make this happen for us is not enough. So we have to integrate blockchain as we saw in the video. So those are some fascinating examples. Also, there is one more example from Deloitte company, wherein they work on this energy consumption or energy metering example. There are three phases wherein energy consumption meter authentication. There is something called introducing consumption data into the blockchain, and also metering process or the billing process. They work in three different stages wherein there are two ends, consumer end and the power plant end. They're making use of this crypto tags attached to the mechanical meters, plus identifying the data which are provisioned, attested, and these data are stored on blockchain at the consumer space. And at the power plant space also, they're making use of this crypto tags and their data that's associated with this power plant is also stored on the blockchain. Going ahead, the user can scan this crypto-enabled mechanical meter. User can now send the usage data to the blockchain in the form of transaction, and in the power plant space, wherein the utility company can store data on blockchain about all the consumption related data. And then comes this consumption and data production data that is mutually shared between this consumer and the power plant. wherein it can ask the consumer to pay, or it can also be from vice versa. So this is also one such nice example. So far we were just looking at it from an IoT perspective. If we say we are making our energy consumption meters, or power consumption meters smart with IoT. So we can go ahead and also include this blockchain in making it much more secure and efficient. Also, we have one more example, IBM example, wherein there is an organization called Golden State Foods who collaborates in food supply chain to overcome one up and one down visibility issues. When we specifically say food supply chain, there is a lot of factors with respect to transparency. So IBM has come up with a solution wherein they're using IoT, blockchain, also this cognitive analytics together to bring solutions with respect to this transparency in food supply chain specifically. So this is also one more example that I would like to play.
To me, food is the wow factor of life. To me, food is the ultimate expression of freedom of choice. When you think about supply chain today, you have one up, one down visibility. Blockchain brings that transparency of upstream all the way to consumption level that you have never experienced before. GSF blockchain solution is about the convergence of technologies like IoT, cognitive analytics, and blockchain to track, trace, and monitor the freshness of the product as it goes through its supply chain journey. You can have visibility and transparency about where the product came from, and assurance that at all times that product has been within the control band of the temperature for freshness. Think about having all the information at your fingertips. Think about having vital information at your fingertips at the speed of thought. That is the game changer. The whole idea of blockchain is to collaborate, to work together towards a common goal. Your competitors will have to collaborate, your supplier, your customers, your owner-operators. There is no right or wrong way. It's really the way that we all together can move forward. IBM brought together brilliant minds from different parts of the world to deliver a solution in food safety. Of course, it's called IBM Food Trust. We use IBM Food Trust to bring the transparencies that our consumers in the food industry desire. The secret is in the insights you gain. You start with an idea and you test and validate your hypothesis, and it has the potential to morph into a solution. As once Victor Hugo said, there is nothing more powerful than an idea whose time has come. We believe blockchain is an idea whose time has come.
So these two are very fascinating examples wherein, as I discussed previously, when we looked into the top 10 IoT application areas, we can see manufacturing, transportation, and energy. In a corporate domain, a lot of companies are investing greater money to bring solutions. So probably as we researchers from academics, we can choose such problems as we saw in the video related to this healthcare, supply chain, and agriculture. So probably we can choose this healthcare, and one as I said, the one current problem we can work on is this vaccine distribution. So such combinations can be chosen for integrating this IoT and blockchain together. So with all this understanding, what does this integration brings in? What are the application areas? What are the IoT challenges that we can solve? And also with some examples. Now we can look at this blockchain in IoT technology stack. Where we have this IoT platform, we have this blockchain and the data that is stored over the blockchain, helping us to make this business decisions. So to do this, there are technological stacks that we have that we can make use of. Is there are a set of IoT platforms and there are set of blockchain platforms which can be linked up with each other. I have discussed examples with respect to this IBM Watson. Also, there is 1 year free subscription for this Microsoft Azure. One can sign up and use this Microsoft Azure also for creating IoT applications. Also, going ahead, we have several blockchain platforms where we can make use of Hyperledger, or even we can make use of Ethereum, where we can use Solidity. So these two combination, any of these combinations can be used together, or we can use standalone IBM stacks. So going ahead, how to select a blockchain platform while we have an IoT project with us, and how do we select a blockchain platform is these are a set of questionnaires that one needs to have before selecting a blockchain platform. The first one is this: what is the development status of a platform? So one can check how active the development of a platform is done. Probably we can just go around and search for the GitHubs or any other related communities. Know if the platform's code has been tested multiple times, or if the platform is still in the development stage. So we need to know the development status of any such blockchain platform we choose. Also, what type of blockchain do we require? We are well aware that there are a lot of different types of blockchain, where to understand the types of blockchain, we have our own use case requirements, where we should first know what are the different types of blockchain. Make sure to choose the platform on your software development cycle based, where what type of network it supports, be it as I said in the previous slide, taxonomy, as I discussed in taxonomy, whether it is a public network, a permissioned network, or a private blockchain network. Such combinations can be explored. And what language does the platform support? Since the blockchain is in the very nascent stage, and many new programming languages have been introduced. So before selecting a blockchain framework, knowing what programming languages are supported by the SDKs of that specific platform is also important. So how popular the platform is. So we need to look at the reputation of blockchain platforms, probably on web. We can make a survey of it. That is also very important. And also, what blockchain consensus protocol does the platform use to achieve consensus? So that is something very important, where it is challenging to work on a blockchain platform if you don't understand its consensus protocol, since there are different types of consensus algorithm. As I said during in the previous slide, proof of work, proof of stake, or probably the fault tolerant algorithm based. So all of those needs to be explored. And going ahead, one more is this: does the platform support smart contract functionalities? So not at all where every blockchain platform supports the concept of smart contracts. So where there are responsible which are responsible for validating, triggering, or enforcing actions on blockchain system also needs to be inspected. And the next is this: what kind of scalability does your solution need? So as the number of transaction and the participants in the network keeps increasing, a blockchain network should be able to scale to adapt itself to such recursive growths. So in case the project is not transaction sensitive, and only if it requires periodic data review, such as escrow agreement. So we should be able to limit the network decisions to ease of use, access, and the cost, all those parameters. So these are the different or well-defined set of questions that we have to explore before selecting any such blockchain platform to integrate with IoT. And also, I would like to have a glimpse on what are the security concerns wherein this blockchain plays a major role is, where it can have its own impact with respect to this access control, wherein there are a lot of factors like policy management, access logging, privacy preservation, all those issues, and data assurance, integrity, and freshness. So when we have huge amount of data emerging from IoT, which will be brought into the blockchain, so integrity assurance issues is one such concern, and also counterfeiting the hardware and tampering. We have seen how things can fake up when it comes to application areas like supply chain management, wherein we are well short of the transparency, and this can be solved, and also device authentication, because a lot of intruders, it is since IoT is very open for all such intrusion attacks. So authenticating each device is also very important in one such aspect, and also key management and trust, wherein there is I discussed about why trust is very much important factor when it comes to IoT, and it can be improved with this blockchain. Going ahead to have this, what are the different challenges specifically we can look around this storage capacity and scalability. We know that at a very faster rate, this IoT also as well as blockchain is growing on. There is a lot of data getting emerged out from IoT. As I said, as an add-on layer, we can use cloud services along with this blockchain. And one more concern is this security, anonymity and data privacy, smart contracts, and legal issues. These are the different challenges and the areas which needs to be introspected. There is a other set of work or research that is being done by integrating this artificial intelligence and bringing deep learning concepts into the blockchain to make the things much more better. So we have this IoT integration with blockchain already. There is another important research area happening wherein bringing this AI or making it much more powerful by bringing this artificial intelligence is also one such way. Next is this very important distinguishable context wherein when we integrate this blockchain with Internet of Things, there are different aspects where there are different stakeholders associated with the ecosystem. The different stakeholders, be it producer, freight forwarder, broker, and consumer. So there are different stakeholders, how they are done with presently, and integrating this blockchain, how will it better the things? So we know that a producer will definitely will be looking to add value to the raw materials into other consumables and finally the end product. Now they will have a limited ability to control and verify the flows coming from its suppliers. So all the compliances to standards with respect of requirements. So now this is how they are dealing with. So bringing this blockchain will definitely benefit where the distributed ledger enables them to control the inputs and track each of its production. So this is with respect to the producer space, and also freight forwarder. And there is a thin difference between this freight forwarder and the broker, where freight forwarder is responsible for transporting materials. As I said, if there is an end product getting delivered in one space, in one region, has a lot of raw materials or components procured in different spaces of the world. So all of them must be brought together. So this freight forwarder is one such key role, who is responsible for transporting materials and products to and from the different stakeholders. So now presently, still they are reliable, but it is one-side tracking. Always transparency problem, limited certification ability, and complex tracking. Assuming that being in one common place and checking all its credentials and their trustworthiness by sitting at one place is still difficult. And also definitely it is difficult to certify a code of conduct. We don't know how this freight forwarder handle the goods that is being transported presently. Now adding a blockchain will have a shared information system. Anybody in the network who have the accessibility can know what things are happening in the form of transaction. Client can benefit from a distributed and certified system, and also client can make sure his goods are transported in right conditions and at right timing. So this is one example, as we saw in the video, which is also contributed from this IBM. And another one is this broker who makes or connects different stakeholders together. So even now, these people who bring all these stakeholders together find it difficult to certify the origin and path of the goods that are bought and sold. There is one current problem which can be easily overcome by checking the origin of the goods and their transformation path on the blockchain. Each of them can be stored as a transaction or a record over the blockchain. And with sealed IoT devices put on goods, the broker can check and prove its authenticity and provenance. Again, blockchain plays a very important role in tracking this provenance. And finally, with all these stakeholders, producer, freight forwarder, broker, with all this, there is a consumer space who consume the product. Finally, it is the end user. The end user has difficult to verify the compliance, origin, composition of the goods to be bought. We are blindfolded at our space because we don't know what's happening behind. So to the end user point also, end user can have full view on the goods that are brought together. So these are the clear evidences that can be brought into the things we deal with IoT in the near future compared to the existing things, how it is working now. So with this talk, probably I believe I have walked through what are the different ways in which the blockchain and IoT integrations can be done. So would like to have a quick relook into the things wherein we all know what blockchain technology is all about, how powerful it is to bring all such changes in the near future. And also specifically, I've spoke about integrating this blockchain with Internet of Things. One can identify any of these areas and start doing research to integrate the blockchain and IoT. And it is good to have a taxonomy. Having these combinations will always be an added advantage. We can have specific. We can identify what specific IoT platform and what kind of blockchain network we do use, and how this can be brought together into the business network space for decision making. We are very clear with the key benefits of blockchain. And we walk through the IoT challenges which can be overcome with blockchain and application areas also. So taking up this example, probably I can say we can pick and choose such problems, daily life problems, and we can formulate such problems and start finding solutions. And since I am presently working in South Korea as a research scholar since last 3 years, here since Samsung comes from South Korea, they have done a lot of work. You all can have a look at on web, wherein the supply chain management have been given a lot of technological advancements from Samsung. They're doing a lot of work. Also, in at institute levels, at university levels, there are research laboratories specifically not concentrating on cryptocurrencies when it comes to blockchain. There are a lot of other aspects, not just this IoT. There are other different aspects the blockchain can be integrated together. So I would like to conclude with this and would be happy to have any questions from the participants.
Dear participants, do you have any queries? Sir, I think looks like nobody has any queries.
Yeah, okay.
So that's all from your side then?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Thank you for the wonderful session. And I request all the participants to please install the Teams app to have a hassle-free experience. So now we will go, resume back to the session 2 by Dr. Kunvar Singh at 4:30 p.m. Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.